It's a story that really, I don't know about you, but just sends chills down your spine.
Oh, yeah.
A family in Hofuf, Saudi Arabia.
Right.
The Al-Gibran family tragically lost 7 members to a house fire last Monday.
Wow.
But here's the unsettling part.
Meh.
The fire was likely sparked by something we all have and use every day,
Oh.
a mobile phone charger.
Really?
Yeah, it's a stark reminder that the line between the mundane and the dangerous can be a lot thinner than we think.
Absolutely.
So today we're diving deep into fire safety,
Okay.
exploring those hidden hazards, giving you some actionable insights to protect yourself and your loved ones.
Sounds good.
I'm really interested to get into this with you.
Yeah, me too.
It's easy to dismiss chargers as potential fire risks.
Yeah.
We just see them as harmless everyday objects.
No, totally.
I mean, but the truth is, any device that generates heat
Right.
can pose a danger, especially if it's damaged or used improperly.
Uh-huh.
What makes this case so tragic is that it highlights how easily a fire can ignite and spread,
Yeah.
often with devastating consequences.
Yeah, you're right.
And this wasn't just some abstract news story. We're talking about 6 siblings.
Yeah.
Layla, Iman, Latifa, Ahmed, Redorite, Abdullah,
Okay.
and their nephew Hussein.
Wow.
They all lost their lives. Latifa was actually a bride-to-be. Her wedding was just days away.
Oh my gosh.
It just adds another layer of heartbreak to this already horrific event.
Absolutely. It's a stark reminder that fire doesn't discriminate.
Right.
And the impact on families and communities can be profound.
Yeah.
The uncle of the victims, Sadiq Al-Gibran, recounted the fire starting in a sofa, possibly ignited by the charger.
Oh, wow.
He mentioned how the flames spread rapidly, fueled in part by the ceiling decor.
Really?
This detail is crucial because it underscores a point we often overlook.
Okay.
The materials in our homes can dramatically affect how a fire behaves.
You're right. I think we tend to focus on the obvious fire hazards,
Yeah.
like faulty wiring or unattended cooking, but
Yeah.
ceiling decor, that's not something that immediately springs to mind.
Exactly. It's about understanding that seemingly insignificant design choices can have a huge impact on fire safety.
Right?
Flame retardant materials, for example, can significantly slow down the spread of a fire,
Yeah.
giving people precious time to escape. This incident makes you think twice about the materials we surround ourselves with in our homes.
It certainly does. And it's not just about what our homes are made of, but also what's in them.
Right.
A relative of the family, Haider Al-Hassan, described seeing the charger melted, a chilling image that underscores the intense heat generated by these fires. He also spoke about the speed at which the fire engulfed the house, filling it with thick, toxic smoke.
Oh, wow.
It's a terrifying scenario.
That's a critical point. We often think of fire as the primary danger, but in reality, it's often the smoke that poses the greatest threat.
Okay.
Smoke inhalation is a leading cause of death in fires, not burns.
Wow, I never realized that. Why is smoke inhalation so dangerous?
Well, smoke is a complex mixture of gases and particles, many of which are highly toxic. These toxins can quickly overwhelm the body, leading to disorientation, unconsciousness, and ultimately death.
Yeah.
Plus, smoke obscures vision, making it difficult to escape.
Right.
That's why having working smoke detectors is absolutely vital.
Yeah.
They provide that early warning, giving you those crucial seconds or minutes to get out.
Early detection can be a lifesaver. And in this tragic case, while most of the family was trapped inside, the father, Hussein Al-Gibran, and one of his sons managed to escape.
Wow.
The report mentioned the father desperately trying to open doors to save his family before he fell.
Oh, no.
And his son Basil helped him and his mother get out.
Okay.
It seems like quick thinking and decisive action played a role in their survival.
Absolutely. It highlights that while prevention is key,
Uh-huh.
knowing what to do if a fire breaks out is equally important. This case underscores the need for a well-rehearsed fire escape plan.
Yeah.
We can't just assume we'll know what to do in the heat of the moment.
So what are the key elements of a solid fire escape plan? What should our listeners be thinking about?
Firstly, identify 2 escape routes from each room.
Cool.
If a fire blocks one exit, you need an alternative. Then practice your escape plan with everyone in your household.
Got it.
Don't just talk about it, actually walk through it. And finally, establish a designated meeting point outside.
Oh.
This allows you to quickly account for everyone and ensures no one runs back into a burning building.
It's amazing how quickly a fire can spread
It really is.
and the amount of damage it can inflict in such a short amount of time.
Right.
You know, we've been talking a lot about the physical aspects of fire safety,
Right.
like escape plans and building materials.
Mm.
But what about the emotional and psychological toll of a fire?
Oh, yeah.
I can't even begin to imagine the trauma this family is going through, and the community has clearly been shaken as well. There's been an outpouring of condolences and prayers online.
You're absolutely right. The emotional and psychological impact of a fire is often underestimated. Survivors can experience a range of emotions: shock, grief, anxiety, even guilt. And these feelings can linger for months, even years after the event. It's important to remember that recovering from a fire isn't just about rebuilding your home. It's about rebuilding your life, your sense of security, and your emotional well-being. Support networks and professional help can be crucial during this process.
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that fire safety isn't just about preventing physical harm, but it's about protecting the mental and emotional health of individuals and families as well.
Absolutely.
This brings us back to that initial trigger for our deep dive, the mobile phone charger. It's almost unsettling how such an ordinary everyday item could lead to such a tragedy.
That's precisely what makes this case so thought-provoking.
Yeah.
We often fixate on the more dramatic causes of fires, like faulty wiring or arson.
Right.
But it's these seemingly insignificant everyday objects that can catch us off guard. It's a reminder to be vigilant about all potential fire hazards in our homes, no matter how small or harmless they might appear.
So what can we do to minimize the risks associated with these everyday items? I mean, we all have chargers, appliances, electronics, things that are constantly plugged in and generating heat. Are there specific types of chargers we should be avoiding?
While it's difficult to say definitively which chargers are safe and which aren't, there are certain things you can look out for. Always opt for chargers from reputable brands that meet safety standards.
Okay.
Avoid using chargers that are damaged or have frayed cords.
Right.
These can overheat and potentially spark a fire. And here's a simple but crucial tip. Unplug chargers when not in use, especially overnight.
Okay. That's a habit I definitely need to work on. I'm guilty of leaving my charger plugged in all the time.
It's a common oversight. But think about it. Why keep something that generates heat plugged in when you're not even using it?
Yeah.
It's an unnecessary risk. The same goes for other appliances like hair straighteners or curling irons. Make it a routine to unplug them after use.
You know, it's interesting. We've discussed smoke detectors, escape plans, and the importance of flame retardant materials. But something you mentioned earlier really stuck with me. The fact that smoke inhalation is often the deadliest aspect of a fire. Can you elaborate a bit more on that? What specifically makes smoke so dangerous?
Sure. As I mentioned earlier, smoke is a complex mixture of particles and gases.
Okay.
And the exact composition can vary depending on what's burning. But some of the most dangerous components include carbon monoxide, hydrogen cyanide, and various irritant gases.
Right.
Carbon monoxide is particularly insidious because it's colorless and odorless, so you might not even realize you're inhaling it.
Wow.
It binds to your red blood cells, preventing them from carrying oxygen, which can quickly lead to unconsciousness and death.
That's terrifying. So even if you manage to escape the flames, the smoke itself can be a deadly threat.
Exactly. And that's why early detection is so crucial. Smoke detectors give you that early warning, allowing you to escape before the smoke becomes too dense and toxic. It's also important to know that smoke rises. So if you're in a smoky environment, stay low to the ground and crawl to safety.
That's a good point. We often see in movies people running through smoky hallways, but in reality, staying low is the safest way to escape.
Speaking of escaping, you mentioned having 2 escape routes from each room. What are some common mistakes people make when creating a fire escape plan?
One common mistake is assuming that everyone will automatically know what to do in a fire.
Right.
People often panic and freeze up in emergencies.
Yeah.
That's why practicing your escape plan is so important. It helps to solidify those actions in your mind so that you can react instinctively even under pressure. Another mistake is failing to account for everyone in the household, especially children and older adults who may need assistance.
Yeah.
Your escape plan should include specific instructions for helping those who might need it. And don't forget about pets.
Right. It's easy to overlook our furry family members in those moments of chaos. Exactly. Think about how you'll get them out safely. And here's another crucial point. Make sure your escape routes are clear and unobstructed.
Okay.
Don't have furniture blocking doorways or windows. Those precious seconds it takes to move something out of the way could make all the difference.
Those are all incredibly valuable tips. It's about being proactive and thinking through these scenarios before they happen.
Absolutely.
We've talked a lot about what to do during a fire, But are there any steps we can take to prevent fires in the first place?
Absolutely. Fire prevention is just as important as knowing how to react during a fire.
Yeah.
One of the simplest things you can do is regularly inspect your electrical appliances and cords for any signs of damage or fraying.
Yeah.
If you see anything suspicious, have it repaired or replaced immediately.
Right.
Don't overload outlets or extension cords, and never leave cooking unattended.
Got it.
And as we discussed earlier, unplugging chargers and appliances when not in use is a simple but effective way to reduce the risk of electrical fires.
Yeah, it's fascinating how we often overlook these simple yet effective fire prevention measures. I guess it's easy to get complacent when you've never experienced a fire firsthand.
Right.
But this deep dive has been a real eye-opener for me.
Yeah, definitely.
We've covered so much ground. The Algebran family's tragic story, the science behind fire hazards, the importance of preparedness, and the psychological impact of fires.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to absorb.
It is. But the key takeaway here isn't to live in fear, it's to empower yourself with knowledge and take action. Fire safety isn't a one-time task, it's an ongoing commitment. It's about integrating those small but vital habits.
Right.
Checking your appliances, practicing escape routes, having those open conversations about fire safety with your family into your daily routine.
Right. It's like anything else. Consistency is key.
Exactly.
These small actions can have a huge impact on your safety and well-being.
Absolutely. Think about it this way. What's easier, spending a few minutes each month checking your smoke detectors and clearing escape routes, or dealing with the devastating consequences of a fire?
Oh, yeah.
It's about shifting our mindset from reactive to proactive, from assuming we'll never experience fire to preparing ourselves just in case we do.
It's about taking ownership of your safety and the safety of your loved ones. And that brings us to a crucial question for our listeners. What one concrete step can you take today to make your home a safer place for you and your family? It could be something as simple as testing your smoke detectors or walking through your escape route. The important thing is to take action, to move beyond just listening to this deep dive and actually implement what you've learned.
Absolutely. Even a small step can make a big difference. Remember, fire safety isn't about living in fear. It's about taking control, being informed, and empowering yourself with the knowledge and tools to protect yourself and those you care about.
Well said. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to something as important as fire safety. We hope this deep dive has given you the insights and motivation you need to take action. Stay safe out there, everyone.